Okay, let's go and jump some ranked games with a random character and see what we're gonna get today. So it looks like we're playing the adventure. It's been a long time since we played the adventure. Since I started the Adventure to Grandmaster series, which I kind of, not gonna lie, being 100% transparent, kind of shelved because I just have more fun doing creative, maybe off meta builds than going full on trying to go for meta builds. But today I thought we'd be jumping into a chaos run with the bag of giving with the adventure and see where it leads. We start off with flutes. We also start off with a customer card. In a bag of giving, we're going to be getting a ton of value every single round. Now, we also got a little short bow with a lump of coal and a deck of cards. And a chili pepper. We could try to go full on heat stacking. We could try to go for ruby chunks. We could take the deck of cards. I'm going to take it. With a lover's card, I will grab. I'm going to take the little bow. I'm going to take the coal and the flame. And I'm going to... Should we take the shepherd's crook? I mean, I'm definitely going to. Let's roll. And we missed on storage. We definitely missed on storage, which is a bit of a problem. I did want to keep our shepherd's crook, but I kind of want to sell it to actually find some storage. But this is a bag of stones. And a stone. With the shepherd's crook, that would be crazy good for us. I also really want to keep our customer card since we did start off with it. So I'm going to sell our shepherd's crook to take both of these. And I'm still going to roll. And we did miss on more storage. However, we got ourselves a turnip, which I'm definitely going to be taking in the next rounds. That I'm definitely going to be sure of. I have been liking this early customer card. We're definitely going to take this in the next rounds. We're more than likely going to actually lose this next rounds. Potentially, I hope not, but we'll see. Can we win this round? We do have a stone, we do have a short bow, and we have a little bit of damage with our lover's card as well. So it's going to be a lot of damage early on, but after that we kind of have to beat them down. But our opponents does have 30% healing application with the Viney basket. They got 4 regen, which could be problematic. But can we beat him out? Because right now, it's definitely not looking like so. Like I said, good damage at the beginning, but after that, we kind of fall short with no damage whatsoever. So we definitely... But yeah, unfortunately, we do end up losing our first round. It is what it is, and holy moly, what is this stuff? A puzzle bag of endurance? Meaning any duration effects, we're going to get even longer. We got a fanny pack to speed up everything. A freaking early mana orb. And an element of energy. So we do got lots and lots of options. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to sell a little short bow. I did kind of want to keep the coal. We're going to sell our gemstones. That is literally going to be 4 golds. We need to sell 4 more gold worth of items. We sell you. We sell this too. Do we sell our flame as well as our little star of courage? Or do we just sell our mana orb? I mean, I kind of want to sell the mana orb. As much as I love to keep it, I'm going to sell it. Because I really want this turnip. Turnip, especially with our amulets of energy inside our puzzle bag, will actually increase the duration of this by quite a bit. I also want to take the Ace of Spades with another fanny pack because the Ace of Spades is going to give us 2 spikes. Which is quite significant as well. But yeah, this is going to be our next round. It should be much better with a turnip. We should have that 100% faster on the turnip for a little bit longer than 1 second. And dealing massive damage, and hell yeah, I'm looking a hell of a lot better than the previous round. But hey, at least we got ourselves another fanny pack. Another fanny pack, another lover's card. We got a corrupted crystal with a bunch of regular amethyst. I do want to keep quite a bit to try and go for capital comforts, which will be awesome. I also want to keep these gemstones, and we can trade this for this. Okay, so we got ourselves another customer card, corrupted crystal. Now, seeing Echoing Battlecry, we could take the corrupted crystal and look for a bunch of caps. That way we get our damage reduction for such a long time. I'd love to keep this for healing reduction. Goobling is kind of awesome if you had goobers. But I think we're going to sell this. We're going to sell you 2. We're going to sell our lover's card. And we're going to take our Echoing Battlecry. Now it's only going to be really good for our amulet. Along with our deck of cards, which we can put together as well. We also kind of want to craft up a platinum customer card. As crazy as that sounds. Now we could have went for chain up as well. Chain up adventure does sound kind of smashing too. Now, are we going to keep this or do we sell it right now because we can't really get our helmet for a while? I'm going to risk it. I'm going to sell it. Just because we're going to need a ton of storage. Now, I'm holding on to these items, which is a little less than ideal. But it is what it is. Let's get going. We're going to get 2 more luck, which I'm not sure if it's going to be that great for us, to be honest. I'd rather get that increased speed on our turnip again. But our opponent does have 2 shell totems and an amethyst steel. They're setting up for a crazy power stack and run. I mean, I already have 6 in power, especially with guard power as well. This frying pan is going to have way more DPS than our turnip, and they're going to get heals from these shell totems. However, we still end up smashing out. So not too bad. And we got ourselves an owl as well. Now you're also going to be startable effects, reflecting debuffs as well. Spear, I'm going to sell. Owl, I'm not sure if we do even once. Duplicate of mana, you're going to give us some power, which I definitely want. So at this point, am I crazy to sell the owl? I'm going to sell it. Let's take our fanny pack. Let's take our ace of spades. But I'm also thinking about moving on with this. With our platinum customer card, we can reflect those debuffs. With our Echoing Battlecry, we can use it again. But let's see how this actually pans out for us. I did move our deck of cards into this position, so we get our wand and power, increasing the damage on our stone along with our turnip. We should be able to get lots of spikes with our ace of spades. And getting us a big old crit on our stone or our turnip. I'd rather get it on our turnip, but with our stone, it is what it is. And holy moly, is our opponent have an insane amount of heals with a Turbo Shelly. Mage with the Hunger Blade. And unfortunately, they have so much heals that even our spikes and our turnip just can't deal with it. So we end up going down in our life, but holy moly, that's our puzzle bag and a helmet. As well as a hold on. So we got all the bags in the world. Also another ace of spades, so we can stack up a lot of spikes. So also a puzzle badge to speed up our main weapon if you do want to. Now I really want this helmet. How much does our hold all sell for? It's a lot of block though. It's a pretty good bag in general. We sell these 1, 2, 3. We sell you 2. That's 5 golds. We do need to sell 2 more gold worth of items, which I'm not sure if we can actually take. So I'm going to sell these for now. I'm going to have to sell this other little gemstone, and we're going to take this. We're going to take it. We're going to reserve a helmet. I'm not going to take the puzzle badge, even though we do got 2 puzzle bags of endurance. Once we get our helmet, I'm going to add it in, and we should be able to get damage reduction for almost infinite time. Just have damage reduction for an absurd amount of time with 2 of these bags, along with our Echoing Battlecry. That's the game plan, but with our 2 ace of spades, we get so much spikes, so our turnip can deal some pretty decent damage. That's a big old dragon. Now, do we want to keep it? I think I'm going to sell it, and we're going to take the helmet. Now, we probably should take this unstable recombobulator. But I'm thinking on moving on with this. Now, I don't really want the extra flame as a freaking start of battle effect. But I think we're going to have to move on with this. With our helmet, we should have 60% increased duration. And I kind of wish we still had a corrupted crystal, because that is the helmet I do want the most. Nullifying our opponent's buffs, reducing their healing is going to be incredibly awesome for us. But we'll see. We do have 25% damage reduction for about 4.5 seconds, nearly 5 seconds. Allowing us to stack up for spikes, but our opponent does have some damage reduction with their dragon skill armor as well. We got shielded to block our damage too. That's 11 spikes. We are eating up our stamina, which could be problematic. But this turnip is starting to deal some big damage. And can we win out? Hell yeah, we can. Overall smashing. Now we got a puzzle bag of improvements. So we have the puzzle badge without the puzzle badge. We also got a spell skull frostbolts. We also got ourselves a freaking badger. But I'm going to sell our spell skull go. And this too, and then let's just take our unstable recombobulator. Now the badger, I think we're going to have to hold on to. The squirrel we could also keep. Now, do we want a chance to duplicate our spike generation? Because if so, we kind of need our setup to be like this. That way we try to get some power, we try to get our spikes. They're only one-time effects. But I think it's going to be okay for now. Now, I also kind of want to offer up our squirrel, as mad as that is. I think I'm going to rock on with this. This should be pretty darn decent. And we'll see how we get on. Now, we could have kept our squirrel to steal our opponent's buffs like crazy. Would be a lot of fun as well. But it shouldn't be too bad. We got crazy spikes. Our turnip should be able to deal some big damage. Our opponent also has a turnip. They're going to be trying to stack up a lot of max life with the badger. And I mean, they already have 82 max life. This badger is crazy if you have mana generation. But our squirrel is actually stealing their mana. So maybe we actually want to keep our squirrel for the time being. Stealing our spikes as well. It's not looking too bad. It's neck and neck, but our opponent still has more life than us. But we managed to pull ahead right at the end. And awesome. So I did want to get rid of our squirrel, but I think I'm going to keep it. And here we got a bunch of freaking chess pieces, which I didn't really expect to get. It does give us a white king and some pawns. The king is going to give us some power. Now, do we have any start battle effects? Ukulele is going to give us more healing. It doesn't really have a starter ball effect. We could take the scales to scale up mana and regen, triggering everything faster. We also got a Fedora, which does have a starter ball effect, given a bunch of luck. Now this is also going to allow us to help find unique items along with our Platinum Customer Card. This could actually be a lot of fun. Also increasing our chance-based effects and stealing our opponent's buffs along with our scrolls. I'm very, very tempted to take this over Mercury Elemental, over the Turtle as well. I'm going to sell our Axe, and I'm going to sell our Ruby Egg. We also got ourselves a Scripture of Light. I do like this quite a bit because it does give quite a bit of healing. The only problem is it used up a lot of mana. Now, do we want to keep our chessboard? The way it works is white moves first, so the king is going to just take this pawn, inflicting 2 poison, but giving us 1 in power as well. So it means we're going to have to sell this and this to go ahead and actually grab ourselves this Fedora. And it also gives us a Black Bishop, which is going to reduce our opponent's healing and max health gain, which is kind of what we wanted. The only problem is we don't really have much chance-based effects. We also have no real nature items. So technically we have no treasures. Even though these are technically uniques, they're not considered treasure items. This is considered a treasure item. Still want our Badger, but this is going to have to do. We have a chessboard. We're going to use our White King to just take the Black Pawn, so we get ourselves a little bit of extra power, increase our damage just a small bit. But hey, not looking too bad. We got tons of spikes, and we could actually set up for a big old Torn Bloom, even though we only have 2 in power. Maybe not. But we're going to be stealing our opponent's buffs, stealing our mana, so we can get our regen and our heals with our Scripture of Light, which I like quite a bit, giving us a little bit more time just to deal our damage and stack up our spikes. But our opponent does have 250 max life. I mean, this freaking Badger is crazy. If they didn't have that, we definitely would have won. However, that is a vampiric armor. That is hard to pass up, because it is another starter ball effect. So I was thinking about moving on with this. We have our Echoing Battlecry in its position, targeting our helmet most of all, along with our Fedora, which should be able to give us a bit of luck. We should be able to refund some of the luck we do use. And yeah, we're going to be prioritizing our block with our armor as well. So is this going to be good enough to outpace this opponent who is going to be inflicting a lot of debuffs on us? I mean, we do reflect some of it with our Platinum Customer Card. I kind of wish we had more that we could just reflect. But it does take them a while to stack up their poison, giving us quite a bit of time to deal our damage. And amazing. Definitely amazing. Now that's a freaking Hedgehog along with a Shelly. If you want to keep the Shelly, healing reduction is going to be amazing. That is time melting. That is literally time melting. We could go for Flame Up as well. Well, I think we sell this. We sell you. We're going to have to sell something. And I'm thinking about selling our Shelly, or am I crazy? Because we could also go for Turbo Shelly. But I think we sell you, and I'm definitely going to be taking time melting, increasing the duration of our helmet even more. Now I'm going to be crafting up a Turn Whip into a Flame Whip. I'm going to sell you too so we can grab this bit of storage. And I really do want to put our deck of cards back in, but I'm not sure if we're going to be able to put it in this spot. Meaning we might have to move this around just a little bit more, which might not be as ideal. We can do something like this. I also want our Hedgehog. Scripture of Light is also fantastic for ourselves. I might have to rock on with this. We still have a freaking Badger, which I do want pretty badly. But let's get going. We're going to have damage reduction for 120% longer. So this should be like 6.2 seconds or something like that of damage reduction once you craft up the helmet. It's going to be damage reduction for even longer. And once we activate our Echoing Battlecry, we're going to potentially get that damage reduction again for such a long time. So we should be incredibly defensive, especially with our armor. And just stealing all our opponent's buffs as well. So not too bad. And we're going to turn all our spikes into heat stacking. So we have it set up to be like this for the time being. And we have our pets up top. We also have Mrs. Struggles in this to just remove our opponent's buffs like crazy. We have a fairly chaotic run. We also have ourselves an ice block, so we have a 30% chance to inflict a little bit of colds with our vampiric armor. But I think I'm going to rock on. We still have a freaking Badger, the entire shop. We'll see how we get on with this. We don't have our turn up to stack up insane spikes, but we're going to be stacking up insane heat right now. Having our Squirrel and our Mr. Struggles just to remove our opponent's buffs is going to be nice. And we're actually stacking up more heat than our opponents, which is kind of crazy. But again, our Squirrel's going fast, it's taking their heat as well as our Fedora. So it shouldn't be too bad. And our opponent is putting up a good fight still though. We still have our block, we have our damage reduction, we have 15 regen, but our opponent is looking like they're going to outpace us, unfortunately. And that's exactly what happened. It is what it is. We got ourselves a freaking crit with staff, but that is literally the best item we ever could have gotten. That's going to increase our damage by an insane amount. I'm actually just going to sell the crit with staff. I mean, we could have used it too. But I'm also going to sell the blue gemstone, and we're going to take this. Because that's just going to be so much damage. It's going to be so much damage. I'm going to continue on with this for now as well. Now, we are facing a Snow Stick, Corrupted Armor, Claws Attack, Berserker. They're going to stack up a lot of max life. They're going to be slowing us down, but we kind of counter them a little bit by stacking up so much heats, counteracting this cold. And it's not looking too bad, especially with our heats on our flame up. It's going to be doing some big damage with the artifact stone heats. And we just keep stealing their buffs, making it much harder to stack up their mana, stack up their empower. Every bit of empower is actually going to increase our damage, and we've got 78 heat right now, stealing those buffs with a Turbo Fedora, which is a lot of fun. Definitely going to be a lot of fun. But yeah, that's 10 empower, 96 heat, 11 vampirism. And I'd really like to stack up even more vampirism, but it's not looking close whatsoever this time around. Hell yeah. Much, much more better. Now we also got ourselves another bishop, reducing that healing. We also got a courage pup, and we almost got ourselves a burning blade. However, I'm going to sell it. I'm also going to sell you too, and we're finally taking our badger. Now, little chestnut could be kind of fun, but I'm not going to take you. We could go for a hyper hedgehog of all things. And we might as well actually use this in this spot. Just reduce our opponent's healing. We're going to sell you. I'm going to sell a little goobling. And I think we're going to sell our ice block. So we can take this. Now maybe we should have actually went for Devouring Spear. That would have been kind of awesome too, to stack up a bunch of vampirism. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this out and I'm going to roll. We also got the king, attack faster, move a random buff. I'm not sure if I do want to. We probably should take out the chessboard and roll again. And we're going to get ourselves a stone helmet. We're definitely going to get ourselves a stone helmet. Now we could get rid of our bag of stones for more heat generation. But I think we're going to rock on with this. I would have honestly rather get ourselves a Captain's Comfort to reduce that healing. But I'll settle for a stone helmet because it's just going to be damage reduction for a longer time. We do start off with 60% damage reduction, which is kind of nuts. But hey, can we beat opponents? They're going to be stealing our buffs. They're going to be stacking up big mana buff bombs. They got the Jinx staff to make everything go faster. They got a turtle that's going to have crazy block, triggering every 5 seconds. It's going to be insane block, and it's not looking too great for us right now. We do end up losing again. But hey, we got ourselves a box of riches, which I'm going to sell. We also got a white queen instead of the white king. We might actually want to put this in because this is going to give us invulnerable if it's eliminated, but it's going to give us insane heat from the get-go. Now I'm also going to sell our bag stones, as crazy as that sounds, and I'm going to take pop from here. I'm going to take pop. It's going to attack faster based on how much mana we're going to have. I'm also going to sell you, and I do want to take our stone skip pot, so I'm going to sell this gemstone too. And I kind of want to sell our Lover's card because I really want to take our Hollow Fire Lizard. Increasing our effect damage on our pets is going to be kind of nuts. So I think we're going to rock on with this for now. Once we get rid of our Lover's card, we're going to add in our Hollow Fire Lizard to increase the damage. We should have quite a bit of damage with our setup right now. With our pop also receiving that 10 heats. I mean, it's going to be 10 DPS from the get-go, and our build is looking a hell of a lot better. That's for sure. Now, our opponent does have their Battle Rage, but I don't think it's going to be close after. Hell yeah, definitely not. But hey, what do we get? Stone Shoes is incredible. We really want this in this position. But hey, we're going to have to sell this bag. If we sell this bag, we could take the Mage's Badge. The reason to take the Mage's Badge is it can duplicate the mana you get from a Fedora. But Time Melting Winter Boots really wants to sit in this spot. So we're going to have that increased duration for an insane amount. on both our helmet as well. But let's sell our Lover's card. Let's take our Hollow Fire Lizard. Starting off with 5 mana is really, really great. Especially with Pop, especially with our items, especially with our Badger. I'm going to take it, but let's rock on with this. This should be insane value for us. Increasing our heat generation with our Hollow Fire Lizard. We should be able to get our heat really, really fast. We should be able to get our damage. And we should be able to just steal our opponent's buffs like crazy. And with our damage reduction, we do have 50% damage reduction for just nearly the whole fight. 12 seconds in, we still have it. Although I didn't see if this actually procced it. But hey, not going to be close. Now maybe I should take our points and run. Because we only end up with about a 48 DPS. Without Pop, our DPS would have been really, really low. Crouch Pop adding in some too with our Hedgehog, kind of nice too. In terms of heals, we only get 15 heal per second. With 29 max health gain, our Badger actually not putting in too much work for us. In terms of block, Hedgehog, Hold All, Vampiric Armor, doing a lot of work for us. But hey, we've only got 3 more rounds to go. I think we can actually smash it out. Now we could increase your healing. We could also take the Skull Badge instead to inflict a bunch of debuffs. Now this is probably the worst hold all of all time since we're going to have nothing but class items. I'm going to sell you though. And I think we take this Mage's Badge. Gives us our 5 mana off the rip. It gives us crazy uniques. We sell you 2. I'm going to roll. And I'm going to sell you. And I'm thinking about selling our set of blueberries to go ahead and grab ourselves a Hyper Hedgehog. Should we craft up a Hyper Hedgehog? I mean, we probably should, but that's a treasure, which I'm going to be definitely grabbing. And I'm going to sell us 1 Flame to go ahead and grab ourselves a big old banana, because that's one thing we were missing as well. But let's get going. So we should be in a much, much better spot. We should be able to duplicate any mana we do steal from our opponents. We should be able to stack up our max life with our Badger. Every bit of mana we get with our Pop increases the speed along with our heat generation. Our opponent is rocking dragons with the Burning Blade. Now with our boots, we actually make our dragons deal very, very little damage. Now they do resurrect, but with our boots, yeah, we're just incredibly, incredibly defensive. So overall, smashing. Okay, how about we just grab ourselves a King's Crown? We say screw the Badger, we use our mana for our King's Crown to get invulnerability forever. We also reduce our healing by an insane amount. The only problem is our helmet does need to sit in this spot. It needs to sit in here because with that, we're going to have 60% increased invulnerability. Which means our helmet needs to be in this spot too. Yeah, we're going to say goodbye to our Badger. We're also going to say goodbye to this. And let's take our treasure. And give us a freaking Dragon Egg, which isn't too bad. It's not great for this round because, again, we won't be able to hatch it up. But it does give us 4 heats, reflecting those debuffs as well, which is genuinely smashing. But I'm going to sell it. I'm going to sell it to keep rolling. That is another White Queen. I think we keep going. We could craft up that Dark Lattice, which would be amazing as well. We could just use our mana to sustain our stamina. Now, we're also going to use up mana with a Scripture of Light, so I'm not sure if we do want to keep it, because it does take us a while to stack up our mana unless our opponent is rocking mana. Otherwise, I would take a second Scripture of Light and keep going, and that's exactly what I want. Another set of blueberries will help us get a mana generation. So, I'm thinking about selling a little Star of Courage, but I also really want our stamina. I'm going to sell it to add this in. But hey, let's get going once again. Now, I don't want to stack up our mana too quickly. I want to get our damage reduction on our helmet and eventually stack up our mana. Now, our opponent is going to be inflicting a ton of blind. They're going to be stealing our buffs, so it's going to be incredibly difficult to get our mana stacked up. But can we still win out? Because we're also stealing their buffs. They have no buffs, which means we could potentially win out. However, that's a lot of cold on us, slowing us down. We still have our heat though, speeding up just a small bit. It's not too much. We do run our spikes. And that is a bit of an issue we do have. We don't generate spikes outside stealing our opponent's buffs, except for our Ace of Spades. So are we going to be able to win this one? Because it's looking incredibly close, and we do end up losing now. Down to our final life. But yeah, how about we just get a second flame up? Or how about we rock double artifact stones? Well, we sell you. We're definitely taking the second artifact stone. You're going to be effect damage. On Pop, that's going to be amazing. Armored life, maybe not so great, so I might sell it. keep rolling. You're going to be guaranteed crits. But I'm going to roll again. Another Hide for Lizard to increase our effect damage will be smashing. Problem is, how are we going to fit in our Artifact Stone Cold with a flame? Because it really wants to sit in this spot. If we slightly move you over, maybe we can place you in like so. The only problem is, we can't get our initial heats and our Black Bishop in this spot. So we do need to lose something. I'm going to roll once more. That's exactly what I was looking for, a tiny bit of storage. We need our Squirrel. Hedgehog is going to be a little bit of spike generation. I do want to keep our Arm to Darkness so we can inflict a bunch of debuffs. A lot of items. Maybe get rid of our Scripture of Light. It does provide quite a bit of healing, but I'm going to sell it. And this is going to be my final setup. Did not expect to be playing an adventure type run today, especially with 120% duration of our Stone Helmet. I also didn't expect Echoing Battlecry. I would have loved to grab more helmets, especially with time melting. Holy moly, that would have been nuts. I didn't expect a super defensive heat stacking build with double artifact stones, but that's the craziness of the adventure. Now, are we going to be able to take on this turtle with a crazy looking steel gubbers? As long as we inflict our colds, we should be able to destroy this turtle, because even a small bit of cold makes this go crazy bad. And we're stacking up a decent bit of cold. It's not going to be too insane. They do cleanse some of it. But as long as we keep stacking up, we make that turtle basically become useless. Now they're going to get a lot of damage with their dagger ranks around their steel gubbard, but we got invulnerability for literally, I don't even know how long, 5 seconds of invulnerability from just one helmet. We're stacking up our damage reduction during that invulnerability, which is not too great. But we're both going to be stealing our buffs from each other. We slowed them down by quite a bit. We're stacking up our heat even faster. And yes, not looking too bad. We have 500 armor, 520 armor, and our opponent has no buffs. We steal their spikes, we steal our heats, and we should be able to win out. That's one thing our build is actually lacking. Any sort of spike generation outside of stealing our opponent's buffs. And it's not great to be relying on your opponent's buffs to get your heat stacking. Now we did manage to get 1 spike. We got 4 heat from there. That's 60 colds. This artifact stone cold along with the Arms to Darkness really helped us out. And awesome, we did manage to win out. So overall, amazing. We ended up with a 36 DPS. I mean, it was really low actually. We could have got it a lot higher, to be honest. Pop doing the vast majority of it. With our Flame Up, with our Hedgehog, with our Courage Pub, Arm to Darkness. Now in terms of heals, 88 healing, 4 healing per second is crazy. Our Puzzle Bag of Love giving us 5 max health. But in terms of block, we managed to get about 500 block from our Vampiric Armor alone. That's madness. In terms of DPS for opponents, they only had 12 DPS, but we did steal every single one of their buffs or just remove it. But I'm curious how much block they did manage to get. Only 375 block. Because with 63 gold, this turtle triggers every 20 seconds. Which is madness. But hey, we did end up 1 life left. Let's go and see just how much rank points this adventure build did manage to get us. +7, ranking us up just a small bit. But yeah, I'm glad you're here for now. Just want to say thanks for watching. And if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, comment, or even consider subscribing. And I hope to keep a lookout for the next one. I'll see you next time. We are back in some round 18 fights, and we're going to see how we can deal with some other builds. We are facing a Poison Explosion. Can we get invulnerability when it does pop off? Because that is going to be our saving grace. We do get it. We're going to have that invulnerability for 5 seconds. So we really need their bombs to pop off, and amazing. We actually survived a big Poison Explosion. Hell yeah. And can we deal with this Ranger builds? Which could be kind of scary. They're going to be stealing their buffs with Tim. They're going to have infinite accuracy. They're going to have infinite lifesteal. They're dealing some big damage. We get their invulnerability, which stops them from lifestealing. And then we have that 5 seconds to actually beat them down. So it shouldn't be too bad. But is it going to be enough? Because we've taken pretty much everything in hell, yeah. Now, can we deal with this mana stacking Pyromancer? They're going to be going infinite on heat. They're going to be infinite on mana. And they're going to have their mana thirst. Ignoring our armor with this big blue sapphire, while also inflicting a bunch of colds and stacking up their mana. But here we get our vulnerability. We have huge armor, but again, they're just going to ignore it. But can we still run out? Hell yeah, we can.